Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Gaia Soars. This is Kimra Minuti. Thank you for joining me on this episode, guys. We're going to be talking about self-care and the current astrology like I normally do, guys. So let me give you an Ascension update. But first and foremost, I would like at this point in time to say thank you. I want to give a shout out to a few people who have helped make Gaia Soars come to you guys here on Facebook. So, one of the few people that I'd like to shout out first and foremost is Brian Henry from the Ascenders Light Workers Tribe. Love you guys. Thank you so much. I wanted to shout out Sixtina Friedrich for her beautiful crystal work pieces. I wanted to shout out Helia Pereira for some of her beautiful light work and light language activations. Saman Lodi for some beautiful light work and activations. And gosh, guys, I should have wrote this down, but I totally didn't. I just want to say thank you for all of you who have helped me in my journey to reach you guys here and be able to feel confident enough to share my wackiness with all of you. Okay? So, shout out to all those wonderful people. How are you guys doing today? Send me some comments. Tell me what you can hear. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, post something right back to me. I'm trying to see if I can hear again or if I can see comments once more, but whatever. So, super excited, guys. I have a brand new deck of cards, so we will be using the brand new deck today in today's live. And I feel that we're going to have a transformational session today. This has been a really hard week for a lot of people. I am definitely one of them. And I want you to know, guys, that it's okay. It's okay if you've been having a really hard time, and I don't want you to feel bad about having a hard time. I want you to understand that the reason you're having a hard time is because there's something bigger that you truly want in your life, and since you want something bigger, then sometimes you got to shake loose crap that is holding you back from that bigger. And I don't mean to call people or situations crap, but it's just like a general, way of stating, like, you got to let stuff go. Like, the theme, hardcore theme of the transits and the astrology right now, is you must let go of what does not serve you. Must. Like, you have to make hard choices. You have to face hard truths. You have to look at deep, ugly, dark secrets. You have to, in order to get where you have to go. And it is, and it's imperative for you to get forward in your expansion in order to do this. Otherwise you're going to be struggling. Like, you have to say no to certain people about certain things. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do what you want. And it sucks. Like, a lot of people that you're having to let go of in your life right now are like family members, honestly. There's a lot of people who are not to your advantage that perhaps you were born to. And that's okay. And the reason that you were born to them was to heal that bloodline. And that's okay. But that does not mean that once you have done the internal work to heal the bloodline, that you have to continue to allow yourself to be re-wounded by those same individuals who you share actual blood with. So it is for you to understand at this point that if you have done enough shadow work, if you've done all the internal healing and the bloodline healing that you need to do with your family, and you are coming to a place in your journey where the option is to cut off a family member who is toxic, or to continue to allow them to interact and draw your vibration down, the choice is to cut them off. And it's a very difficult choice, and I'm not going to tell you how to make your choice, but I understand from spirit that we will not be able to tolerate people who are not in the same vibration as us for much longer. And that's not in a way to like separate the consciousness. It's for you to understand that we're all trying to vibe higher. And so if that's your goal, if you're trying to vibrate higher, if you're trying to clear yourself of old programming, if you're trying to reach for self-empowerment and realizations and actualization, then you will need to shed shit that doesn't work for you anymore. And that has to do with old programming and the ways that you were brought up and the things that you were taught and the things that no longer serve you. Now, how does that equate to self-care and a comet, right? So how does that equate to self-care and a comet? It equates to self-care because the only way for you, well, not the only way, I don't want to say that because that sounds like really exclusive. The reason that I brought up self-care is because as a person who suffered from mental health disorders for the majority of my adult life, so for like 20 years, right? I suffered from an ability to care for myself. I lacked the ability to take good care of myself. And since I couldn't take good care of myself, I often allowed others to make choices for me, and then the choices that they made were like crappier than the choice that I should have made for myself. You know what I mean? And so that led me down several different pathways that were not to my advantage. And so when I tell you that self-care is of the utmost importance for you, it's for that reason, because you have to recognize where you're not even caring for yourself properly. And that's not to say that I'm the best person at self-care, because, baby, I'm not. I'm definitely not. But I have improved drastically in the last 2 years in an effort to be of service to the collective, in an effort to live out the dreams that I feel are important and are of service to others. Okay, so if you feel that you have dreams inside of you that you would like to come to fruition, starting with basic self-care is the number one place, because the more you love on your body by taking care of this, your spaceship, your spacesuit, your avatar, however you want to personify this human experience that we're going through, right? You will need to go ahead and just embrace your flaws. Embrace the things that are fucked up about you. Embrace the hurts that brought you to this journey, you know? So you have to, and then you can't give up on yourself just because you haven't understood the whole journey yet. Like, you're never going to get it done. You can never get it all finished, and there's always something more. Period. You know, like, up until recently, I had a chronic sacral chakra issue. And I was like, what the heck is going on? I'm doing Reiki, I'm meditating, I'm grounding. I was like, what am I doing? I was like, where am I not fine tuning this situation? And then I went and had some acupuncture done and found out that through my own ignorance, I had blocked an important meridian in my body, and that had caused a whole cycle of crap that wasn't to my advantage. And so when I unblocked that meridian, all of a sudden, a lot of like flow and movement in my body increased, even though I had already been bringing a lot of energy into my body. But because there was blockages on a minuscule level, but still highly impactful, I was not able to fully absorb the things that I was needing to absorb. So in the process of recognizing all of this, I had to go through a series of events that stripped my comfort zone away and my awareness so that I could then come to this realization. And so I wanted to say to you guys that you have to remember where you're going. Like, remember where you're going, because when shit gets rough, you need to know where you're navigating to. If you don't know where you're navigating to, if you don't know why you're in the process of even going there, it's very hard to stay on track, okay? So through this last, I want to say like month and a half of these retrogrades and different things going on, I had to really re-examine my everything. Like, everything in my life got re-examined. And I was like, whoa. And I'm usually pretty chill with retrogrades, but this was rough. So This is to say to you guys that even when you're doing the work, even when you have healed a bunch of shit, even, there's always something to be done because you always want something more and there's always something better that you're willing to accept or not accept. And if you aren't willing to accept something big that the universe is trying to gift you, then you're going to get smacked around some more in not accepting it, you know? And so that's just something that I just wanted to pause and talk about. So now some practical tips for self-care. So let's start with some basic self-care 101. What is self-care? So, self care is what is known in the medical community as your daily ADLs, activities of daily living. Excuse me. So, it's activities of daily living. So, what do you do on a daily basis that you should not need help for? Okay. That would be considered your self care. So, can you get up and shower? Can you get up and brush your teeth? Can you get up and dress yourself? Can you make your own food? Can you blah, 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 blah? These are basic self care practices. So, when you're depressed or anxious, sometimes you don't get up and shower. Sometimes you don't get up and feed yourself. Sometimes you don't get up. Period. You just don't get up. You don't change your clothes. You wear the same thing for days on end. So these are little tiny things that when you pile them up over time, they add up to a decrease in self-care, and then they have you. And remember, you're made up of these 52 trillion cells. Like, you're the captain of their ship, and if you're not taking care of this, then they're not taking care of either. And so over time, you just start to feel really sad and run down. And simple things like moisturizing. Okay? Do you put lotion on after you take a shower? If you do put lotion on, do you put lotion on your entire body, your pinky toes? Like, you know how people get funny and judgmental about different colored skins being ashy or grainy, or people forgetting to do their ankles and their feet, things like that? Well, these are the types of things, right, where you want to know, guys, what are like what are you doing with your skin care? Do you take good care of your skin? Do you exfoliate? Do you drink enough water? Do you bathe? Do you only take showers and never take baths? Have you ever luxuriated in a bath? Because that's another form of self-care. Are you getting pedicures, men and women? Are you getting your hands manicured? Are you, I already said exfoliating. Why do I keep saying exfoliating? Because rough patches of skin build up on your body and they actually act as like an armor. And if you're not sloughing them off and renewing them, then your body isn't breathing and regenerating. Your skin, guys, is the largest organ of protection in your body. And everybody takes it for granted, but that's what it is. Your skin is the largest organ of protection for your body. It protects against illness, disease, and all that other stuff. Okay, so when you're thinking about self-care, the first place you should be thinking about is your skin. Your skin. And some people will say I'm a little obsessed, and I am a little obsessed. I'm not gonna lie. As a Scorpio, I don't know why, and probably because in my past life I was Egyptian, but I obsess about my skin. My skin is really, really smooth. I exfoliate all the time. And if you're a person who has a shower but doesn't have a bath and you want to use Epsom salt to help, like with your Ascension symptoms, Epsom salt baths are really good for Ascension symptoms. Please excuse me. So what you would do if you don't have a bath, hi Paula, by the way, thank you for commenting. I appreciate it. I'm glad you can hear me. If you can't take an Epsom salt bath like Paula's talking about because they're so good, what you can do is you can make a rub with the Epsom salt. You can buy some at Walgreens, and you can go ahead and rub it onto your skin before you shower or as you're getting into the shower. And then when you're showering, you'll go ahead and wash that off and then, add your soap and whatever. Another way, guys, that you can increase your self-care is to purchase items that really make you feel good and are really healthy for your skin. right? So for instance, my cousin Mona makes the best soap, guys. Like, I'm totes obsessed with it. My daughter, my husband, and I, we are all super sensitive skin people. And so for all of us, it makes our skin really smooth and it keeps it really moisturized. And I notice a difference when I don't use her soap. So, so that's one of the things that I do to help my whole family's self-care by simply purchasing items that are made with love from home, handmade by someone who cares with quality ingredients, right? And it sounds like that sounds stupid, but I'm like, but these are the little things that matter. And right now, guys, with Venus and Gemini in these ascendants and with all of the transits that we've been dealing with the new moon coming into Cancer again, remember, this is the second new moon in Cancer. Thank you, Elia. Now, remember, the second new moon in Cancer, guys, this is all dealing with your relationships at home. Okay, so what home? This home. This body is your home here on planet Earth on Gaia, right? So if you're in this body, it behooves you to take care of your home, right? Remember, Cancer is a crab. They carry their home with them everywhere they go. They're also the only ones who have an emotional shell to deal with, like, you know, to deal with like all these crazy transits. So as you think about the archetype of a Cancer, right? And you think about home life. What's it mean to be comfortable, to have lunch, sit with your friends, enjoy a good meal in a comfortable place, to feel safe, nurtured, and supported? Your focus coming into this new moon is, how can I make my life in these arenas better? Okay? Because that's the only thing that you really need to focus on. We're probably going to go into another lockdown if we haven't already started. I don't know. I'm not watching the news. And since I predicted it 3 months ago, I'm not particularly shocked if we do go into a lockdown, because I'm expecting it. So anyway, point being is that if you're already doing these things and you're in your home and you know you're prepared for certain things, it's not so bad. It's when you're unprepared for things that you freak out. And yes, Paula, even though you're using a peppermint scrub on your feet, you could actually use it on your elbows and your kneecaps to catch all these rough spots. Like, there's a variety of different excuse me, guys, Ascension symptoms, throat chakra activations. If you haven't had a chance, head over to Helia Pereira's page on Facebook, or excuse me, on YouTube. She's got a throat activation and healing video up today, guys, that will be of so much use to you. She did a beautiful live this morning. It was very healing and soothing. So, Ascension symptoms, throat activations. Okay, I lost track of my train of thought, guys. So I got a beautiful new deck of cards, right? We're talking about Cancer, the new moon in Cancer, what our focus is, what we need to do, what are the things that matter. Right now, you need to get more information, period, about everything. If you thought you knew, you don't know. So just go ahead and start a brand new inquiry and ask someone. I thought I knew a bunch of stuff. I was wrong. For instance, we thought my daughter had one disorder. Turns out she doesn't. But the disorder that she might actually have, the referral they gave for me is not even the right doctor, because the way the insurance company codes it is one way, and the way the doctor that's going to treat her is going to deal with it is another way. So if I hadn't called the doctor who was going to treat her and ask her, what do I ask for the referral for, I would have sat around for another 3 months with the wrong referral, chasing my tail, not getting the right doctor to handle the problem for my daughter. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's really right now about asking the pertinent questions to get the correct information so that you can go ahead and move forward with the things that you need to handle in your personal life. Because right now, the external world is a whole different world than what's happening right here. You see? Because I am here in my home studio and my little bubble, right? And everything is fucking fine right here. I'm not upset. Everything I need is here. I've got water, I got electricity, I got my phone, I got crystals, I even got an earring that I forgot to put on. Like, everything is right here. So what can you do to make your life good right now in the circumstances that you're in. And if you can't make your life good right now in the circumstances that you're in, how quickly can you make the moves to change it so that you can be situated properly for the next 6 months? Okay? That's what your goal is. Hi, Marissa. Thank you so much for jumping on this live, girl. So appreciate you guys popping in. Really, 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 I do. Guys, this has been a epic transformational eclipse season. It's been epic. And we're heading into some really, really interesting disclosures coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So, like, you guys thought we already were starting to see a lot of weird disclosures with, like, Pizzagate and all this other stuff, like, with UFOs, with, like, all this other stuff that a lot of stuff is being disclosed that people thought wasn't going to be disclosed, right? Well, that's, honestly, y'all, that's the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to be 1000%. I'm going to tell you that it's not that I believe every single thing and that everybody is saying, or I believe everything that's going on. I don't have any concrete facts for anything, but I'm going to tell you this from spirit. Nothing that you see is truly what you see, and more is going to be revealed, and everybody's not going to like it. Like, that was not a cute face, but I'm going to be 1000% real. What we're going to see is going to be shocking and disturbing to everyone, and we don't even know the depth of how weird it's going to be. So I'm just going to be 1000% real about that. If you see that I have reserved myself from speaking on a number of things, it is for that reason, because the conversation that I get from spirit is, don't even dwell on that, because when the real truth of it comes out, you're all going to be wrong. And I was like, oh, good to know. So I'm just going to pass that on to you guys for that, and you can decide what you can decide what you want from there. I'm never here to tell you what to do. I'm only here to tell you the impression that I get from spirit, and to hopefully illuminate you to what you can do going forward. Okay? So, what else should you be doing to prepare yourself? Guys, get your financials together. Get your financials together. If you work for someone and you have a dream job that you've been holding on to in your heart and you haven't started it, start that. Figure a way out to start it, guys. Now is definitely the time. Okay? You don't want to keep building someone else's dream right now, guys. You really don't. This is not the time. You got to take care of you, yourself, and your family. And if it's just you by yourself and your dog, whatever. But you got to make sure that y'all are on your path, and that doesn't have to do with anybody else and their dream, because when push comes to shove and it's between your comfort and someone else's dream, someone's going to always pick their dream over you and your comfort, and you're going to end up getting slaved out for it, okay? So I want you to be mindful of that. I want you to be mindful, and please try to set yourself up in a manner that will be of service to you so that you can navigate the upcoming financial crises. I feel like there's a financial crisis looming. If you don't think it's coming, if you don't see it coming, the IRS just got, everybody had to turn in their taxes here in America on 7/15. So the rollout of what that looks like with everybody turning in their taxes, I don't think it's going to be pretty. I don't think it's going to be pretty. I'm going to be 1000. I know it's hideous. So I'm going to pull a card because this is my new deck, guys. I'm so happy to have this deck. This is the Lumen edition of the Threads of Fate Oracle cards. And I love this card. And so these cards this one says Ascension. It's really pretty. And I like it because it has a hand and it has wings. Because you have the option to pick up and soar, guys, right now. coming into this new moon, we're in a portal. So I should mention that. We're in a portal. We're closing the year of the White Galactic Wizard in the Mayan dream spell, and we're going into, I think, a blue storm. I haven't checked. But we're ending that cycle, and you have the opportunity now. I'm going to say it like this, guys. I feel that the 5D, 3D split is, we're really solidifying this 5D timeline, and you're going to see the shifts become even more drastic going forward. Those who have really embraced their ascension pathway will start to become more and more abundant, and those who are still struggling will kind of peter out and either drop off or start to rise up. And it's not for me to say that like people aren't deserving of the ascension or they're not able to go 5D. That's not it. For me, what I've learned and heard from spirit is that 5D is within you, and the way that we birth that new reality is by everybody reaching 5D within themselves, and then we're able to link our thoughts and our realities and our oneness to create the 5D. Like, we're creating it right now, you know? So every time you do the work and you heal something within your body, within your soul, within your bloodline, within your Akashic record, every time, then you heal yourself and then you heal others. Because we're all refractions and reflections of each other. And so when someone is ugly to you, it's reflecting something that you maybe need to look at in yourself. And sometimes you're just triggering something in them that they need to heal. And oh well, you know what I mean? Like, we're all playing a part together. So just recognize when something comes up and don't beat yourself up about it. Just recognize it for what it is. Something that needs to be examined, looked at, released, healed, and loved on, so that you can now seal up that hole in your aura, and you can just move forward with love and light and bliss and glory, you know? But that doesn't mean you're not going to go through a dark place first, you know? Like, and it doesn't mean you're not going to cry. It doesn't mean it's not going to hurt. That shit hurts. Like, healing hurts. Think of yourself. The best way that I can explain ascension to you guys is like being burned alive raw and surviving it. Like, just being set completely on fire and surviving it. That's basically what the ascension is like. Because when you come out of the flames, you are this pink nude thing with just this shiny skin that is so sensitive to everything. Everything. And it takes a while for your skin to toughen up as you age in your ascension. And so as you're first learning new things, you're extremely raw and open and being bombarded. So honor that portion of the process, guys, and stay to yourself when you need to, and don't apologize because you need to. And let go of people who don't respect the fact that you're in a new headspace. Let them go. And let go of trying to help people who aren't moving in the same direction as you, because you can't fucking do it. Let them go. Like, these are hard truths. Some of the people you let go are your family members. Some of the people you let go are your friends. Sometimes you think you're done letting go of all your friends, and then you let go some more friends. Sometimes you let go of people temporarily. Sometimes you let go of them for a long time. Like, stop pigeonholing yourself into the concept that when you meet someone, they have to be there until you die. That's not true. And it'll make your life a lot easier. It'll be a lot easier if you realize that everybody just comes because they've got things to do too. All right. So the next card that I got, oh, I love this card. It says Ask Body. And it's this beautiful feline energy. And I love it. I think it's just gorgeous. This beautiful feline energy with... Isn't that fabulous? Like, I'm such a child. Like, I'm getting caught in my own reflection. Okay, so it says Ask Body. And I don't actually know what that means. So I would like to pull that out of the card deck and read it out of the book and find out what it means. Because why not? Right? It's a new deck. This will be super fun. So, it says, Ask Body. Of course, I couldn't see it because I was so excited. So here's what it says. Okay, it says, Ask Body. In spiritual work, the body is often overlooked. Y'all, I can't make this up. Didn't I just tell you? There is a tendency to go higher rather than go deeper. This card encourages you to enter into a dialogue with your body. Our physical body holds all of our experiences, our heart, mind, and spirit. It also has inherited significant experiences and traumas that have been passed on in our lineage. To dialogue with the body is to get to the root of the matter where our minds can only guess. So, here's an exercise that you can do with it. Sit or lie comfortably, bringing your attention to your breath. Let your body relax and clear your mind. Then imagine dropping into your body. If there is a specific place you want to go, a place that holds tension or dis-ease, go there. Otherwise, drop into your core. Ask your body any questions that come to mind. If there's anything you need guidance with or are unsure of, bring that to mind. See what it says. And then deepening the relationship with one's body will always be beneficial. It will provide a safe space where you can retreat when you need assistance. I love this deck. That's freaking awesome. So a way to support the body is to ask for, and look how cool this deck is. So this deck also gives you a spirit animal to call upon. So the spirit animal that you can call upon is the jaguar, which is perfect because we're talking about Mayan calendars, right? So jaguars, Mayans. The jaguar is an ally in working with the unknown and reclaiming our power. It is a solitary animal, so they are the perfect ally for doing body work. When diving into our physical self, there is a sense of being alone, as no other person lives in your body, and no one else has lived the experiences that are held within it. When things arise in our lives, we can find healers, teachers, gurus, and friends who can all hold space for us. But to go inside our body is not only more powerful, it is more intimate, for it is your wisdom and yours alone. For many, this can be a scary experience. The journey is illuminating, but can also shake things up that need to be looked at, creating a raw energy within us. Call upon the spirit of the jaguar as an ally to dive deeper within yourself, and especially when you fear opening up and meeting the unknown within you. Really, really cool. Has anybody seen any cats lately? Any strange cats looking just like not where they should be? I know I did. I literally saw, okay, so I'm going to show you guys this. You see how this little statuette, this is my little statuette of Bastet. She's an Egyptian goddess. She is the queen of all cats. Her sister Sekhmet, they double up as the good and bad side of the coin in terms of nurturing and destruction. Okay, so I was driving down the road and I saw a cat, stray, all white, sitting just like this on the sidewalk in the middle of the afternoon for no reason. And I was like, okay. So obviously, because of the way I operate with things, I'm like, well, that must be a sign. And then here we go. Ask the body. And another way that you guys can help deal with your anxiety and depression is to move your body, because you have trapped trauma locked in all sections of your body, especially if you've been here for a while. You've been here 30 plus years on this planet. You've trapped a lot of crap in your body, a lot of stiffness and joints and aching. That's related to anger, traumas, depression, family illness, bloodline problems. Like all of that stuff is in your body, like this is saying. So ways that you can do that is through meditation, movement, yoga, dancing, screaming. Even screaming is good. Like that 70s primal shrieking stuff is still legit. Different ways for you to release these things from your body. Acupuncture, like I mentioned earlier, that's a great way. Also, Reiki energy, like I do, guys. If you would like some Reiki energy healing, I can help you with that. Different levels of things. Okay, so these are all parts of self-care. Taking the time to ask your body, do you practice breathing techniques like Do you notice that you get these rushing sounds in your ears? Well, when you do get that rushing sound in your ear, do you panic? Do you take a pill? Or do you just stop and you breathe? A lot of what we think is illness is actually starvation of our body, and our body trying to communicate to us that we're not nurturing it on a physical level because we're so busy trying to become spiritual, or busy trying to escape the pain, or so busy trying to escape the body, escape the planet, escape the problems. Like, this is a really good idea for you to sink into your body and get to know who you are. You have to fall into yourself and figure out who's my inner being. Who's my inner being? What is her name? What is his name? Is he a she or a shim or a her or a what is it? Is it an animal? It doesn't even matter. But are you able to connect with the spirit essence of yourself? And if you can't, you need to. You need to find a way. You need to find a person who can walk you into it, or you need to trick yourself into it, or you need to go and get hypnosis. Find a healer who will hold space for you to fall into your body if you're struggling to do so because you've got the mind chatter. Okay? Sometimes that's the problem. Your mind is chattering so much, you can't fall into your body. That's okay. Get a piece of hematite. See, look, it told us a stone to use. Hematite is a very grounding and protective stone. It is especially useful for body work in the way that it brings the spiritual and intuitive energies into the body so that they can physically manifest. So many spiritual minded people struggle with integration and staying connected with their body. Hematite calls you back into yourself when doing body journey work. It creates a container for seamless integration with wisdom you return with. Ask hematite to support you in remaining grounded within your body as you expand within your spiritual practice. So, hematite, guys. And let me put this in the comments for you. I actually just purchased several different pieces of hematite in different like shapes. I have like little hematite balls, and I got like chunks of hematite because with these transits, I was struggling to stay in my body. Definitely was. And I'm already an individual who struggles to stay in their body when it comes to like not hearing spirit. Like, I definitely hear spirit pretty much all the time. Like, so for me, I was like almost being like kind of whisked, out of my body often. It was a struggle for me. So I bought a bunch of grounding stones. So I have about 6 pieces of smoky quartz, which is also a really good grounding stone. I have 6 little round pieces of hematite, also really grounding. Something that I do personally, guys, and you may or may not be able to do it, depends on your skin sensitivity, so please, be mindful when you're doing this. I will place a crystal actually in my belly button. So if you guys have a belly button that's not an outie, it's an innie, you might be able to comfortably place a small crystal that you can easily pull back out. Don't be stupid about this, guys. Like, think about how you're going to be able to get it out. But you can place a crystal in your belly button, and that will help to add the effects of the crystal into your body. Because I wear crystals almost all the time, and especially when I'm going out in public. And let me just bring this up. If you're a person who is being triggered by wearing a mask, right? This is important. I haven't talked about masks yet, guys, because it's just like everybody's so pissed off about it. I'm like, ugh, I don't even feel like it. But I will talk about masks right now. I'm not going to talk about whether or not you should wear them or not. That's not my business. I don't care. What I'm going to say is, if you're feeling so overwhelmed when you put the mask on, if you're feeling like triggered and you can't breathe and you're hyperventilating and you're panicking, I I 1000% understand and feel your pain. Because the first time I had to wear a mask and go grocery shopping for my family, I about lost my shit. I have sexual trauma. I've been raped. I've had problems with my breathing my whole life. I came in with asthma. I'm an ex-smoker who quit smoking cigarettes and has had bronchitis and pneumonia. I've had to heal all of these breathing issues. So for me, putting a face mask on was extremely triggering. Like, I I panicked. I panicked. But with that being said, I had to accomplish a goal for my family. And to that end, having to feed them, I I pushed through it. And so while pushing through it, I was able to work through the trigger of feeling, you know, like controlled and subdued and feeling scared because I'm going to be contaminated. Like there's so many different horrible feelings that come with this mask covering thing depending on who you are and what you've been through. That so I understand that. And for the people who aren't triggered by that, and for those who just who want to protect other people, I understand that also. So I'm asking you guys to be a little kinder to yourselves about that. And if the masks really trigger you, please, when you finish doing whatever it is that you have to do with the mask on, I'm going to ask you to take about 35 minutes to an hour, honestly, and sit in nature with your feet on the earth if you can, or just in an open air space of fresh air. And I want you to do deep belly breathing. Deep belly breathing. I want you to just sit there and hyper oxygenate yourself till you get lightheaded to reverse the effects of you being like under breathing and over breathing CO2 in the mask, okay? Because those things are not helping you, especially if you're already stressed out. You're adding more toxins into your body. So I want you to reverse that. And when you're doing that, talk to your body. Talk to your body and just be like, let's take a moment, guys. Let's take a moment and talk to our body, right? This is important. This is important. How do we talk to our body? So I'm going to show you guys how I talk to my body, okay? It's really easy. I'll be like, okay. I'll say something to the effect of this. I'm like, cells in the kingdom of Kimra. And yes, I'm corny like this, guys, so who cares? Just, I'm corny. Just be like, hey, cells in the kingdom of Kimra. This is your captain speaking. And I'll be like, I love you. I love you, cells. We are going to do some high hyperoxygenation because you need love and I need love. And if I'm breathing you some CO2, you're getting everything you need to be successful, right? So these are the things that I'll tell myself. And then I'll begin in my breathing process and I'll do some infinity breathing. So I'll take deep breath in through the nose. Count 4, hold for 2. And as I'm doing this, I'm feeling my body and I'm envisioning just oxygen rushing into every cell. Every piece of my body is waiting and accepting this oxygen, this rich, love-filled oxygen, right? This is your captain speaking. Here are the beautiful tools you need to survive. I care enough about you and how you support me to give you this oxygen that will help you thrive. I'm exhaling the things that we don't need. I'm inhaling all the wonderful goodies that we enjoy. And if you want, guys, you can add an extra layer to this. Add an extra layer. Add a layer of light and color. You can imagine yourself inhaling a green light to fill yourself with a clearing, healing light, right? If you're tired, imagine yourself inhaling a red light so that you could feel more energized and supported and rooted and grounded, okay? If you're feeling upset, inhale a beautiful blue pastel light so you can feel calm, you can feel relaxed, you can feel protected. So all of the colors and the angels and the crystals and the herbs, they all interact together, guys, to bring you the different tools and means to remind your body of where it was initially. And mind you, you can do all of this without any of these tools. You can just do it with your mind. You don't need any of this shit. I should mention that. You don't need any of it. If you can get your mind under control and have it operate the way it's supposed to and integrate both sides of yourself, your masculine, your feminine, your yin, your yang, your up, your down, your elements, if you can integrate all of that without any of these tools, perfect. God bless you. Goddess bless you. Amen. But if you need tools, use the tools. Like, don't be afraid to grab resources. Okay? Don't be afraid to grab resources from wherever the fuck you need to. Don't sit here and go, well, my pastor says I can't use sage. Don't say blah, 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 I can't use this. No. Use what you need without harming anyone. Put that caveat in there. Without harming anyone or yourself. Use what you need to accomplish the tools and the tasks necessary to stay on your path. Okay? So, I don't honestly feel that I have too much else to say on that subject. If anybody who's actually watching me right now on Silver Lining Spirals, if you guys are watching me on Indigo Rising, I can't see your comments right now, and I apologize for that. So if you're watching on Indigo Rising, I'll check your comments and respond to them later. But this weekend, guys, we're going to have another flurry of activity with the signs. We're in a good place right now, temporarily, kind of, in terms of energy, with Mercury going direct, Venus is direct. There's a comet that was coming through the sky, and it has been igniting the rest of the stuff that's going on in the collective. And I just want you to all be kind to yourselves, first and foremost. And don't sit here and think you owe people for stuff that you were programmed to owe them for. Okay? Don't do stuff that doesn't feel good, guys. Really, 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 right now, listen to your instincts, listen to your gut, listen to your heart. If you need my help, I am here for you. Please book a session on Silver Lining Spirals, because in about a week or two, about a couple of weeks, I'll be opening up some more coaching spots. I've got a couple of people coming to an end of their coaching, so I will be available to help more individuals. Please book a tarot session with me this weekend. I got these beautiful new cards that I would love to read information for you if you are so willing to find out what you need to do. Intuitive guidance session, guys. Anything that I can do to be of assistance, I would really appreciate you reaching out to me. I do offer free consultations, so please do not feel that you have to pay me to ask a question. Just be mindful and book your time to ask me a question so I can focus on you, okay? So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I believe I'm going to put this live to a close. Ooh, final reminder. We are still in the shadow of Mercury going direct. So you are still going to have a couple of, snafus with tech. But in general, there should be more clarity, more information about what is coming through, more concept of where you're going forward. And if you feel real lost, guys, please seek help. And please, 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 if you're suffering from anxiety, depression, and you feel like killing yourself, please reach out to me, okay? I will make an exception for suicide. You can message me. Please don't kill yourself, guys. That's not the point. If you kill yourself, the other side loses, okay? The other side wins. We need everybody on deck, on board, in alignment, working on healing themselves. That's how this gets better. Every individual healing themselves heals the collective. Every individual healing themselves heals the collective. It's not about you going out there and waking anybody else up. It's about you healing all your own trauma and shit and making it good. That's it. Okay? So please, don't get distracted by what's happening in the media. None of it's helping you anyway. Focus on how are you going to feed your family? Because that's going to be real, guys. Nobody's talking about the fact that in factories, we're having manufacturing situations that when you go shopping, some of the shit that you would normally buy is no longer in stock. And that when you go, you're lucky to get certain things and other things are there, but other things are not. Like, this is going to get worse. Ladies and gentlemen, please be prepared. Plant food. Make friends with a farmer. Figure it out. Okay? I love you so much. I hope all of you have a better week than you did last week. Because if it was anything like my last week, I'm so happy to be sitting here looking at you guys, not even being freaked out. Because last week I was like, oh, I can't believe it. Okay, so I love you guys. Stay kind, stay loving, stay on track, keep your heads down, and keep loving each other, guys. That's all I can ask you to do. Try to live, love, and laugh like that cliche. And if somebody triggers you, that's okay, but you need to recognize that there's something you need to heal in that trigger. Okay? All right, guys. Love you. Have a great day. This is Kimmer Minuti. This has been another wonderful episode of Gaia Soars. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week on Friday, 3:30 in the afternoon. God bless you, Goddess bless you, and I'm out.